How's it going, everybody? It is your Colonial Champion, Sean McCarty, right here, right now, here today. Match of the week. It's go time. Charlotte Flair, Paige, TLC 2015. I'm kind of excited. And if you're noticing a little shift in setup today, it's because right here in front of me is something different. A little project on the side I'm doing. For those of you who are not familiar with Colonial Impact Wrestling, I suggest you subscribe and like their channel right now as we speak. Because come December 25th, there will be new content being released. That's right, I, in a typical Smark move, have an E-Fed. And that E-Fed is Colonial Impact Wrestling. 7 years in the makes, almost 7 years. 6 3/4 years. But we will have a Wrestlebration on February 4th. But we've got a big batch of great matchups coming up. Unorthodox matchups. So feel free to like the channel. It's steadily gotten better as the years have gone on, at least in video camera quality, that is. And we've got some great entertainment coming forward up December 25th. That's right. That's Christmas Day. Christmas Day all the way up through New Year's. I'm not going to say anything more than that. But that's why we are in a different spot. But now, Charlotte and Paige. I'm going to keep this rather brief because this matchup is rather brief, only 12 minutes long. This was right in the middle of the Give Divas a Chance Women's Revolution, the start of that, the Stephanie McMahon going, I made women's wrestling. And this had, if I recall, this had a bunch of faction hoo-ha that wasn't really important and didn't really help anyone in the long term. And I guess that's why this doesn't have the same impact for me. Knowing how good Charlotte is, knowing how good Paige is, it makes me kind of disappointed that I personally don't think they really ever had the chemistry that they should have had. And granted, part of that was Paige, you know, having the sustained injuries and all that. But this is I like Charlotte, I like Paige, but I don't think I've seen this matchup. So this is going to be new to me, I think. And we will take a look at it, and it should be fun. I think this is our first women's match ever. Maybe. Might be our first women's match ever. I'm not sure for our match of the week. So we may or may not be breaking new ground. But as always, before I even get into this, no, we'll do it afterwards. We'll do it afterwards. So the name of the video is Full Match, Charlotte versus Paige, Divas title match, WWE TLC 2015. The YouTube channel is WWE's official YouTube channel. Of course, I have no doubt we're going to be hit with ads here about every 4 or 5 minutes. So you're going to have to bear with me because we're going to try and keep this going as well as we can, and we will have start and stops. So if you need to start and stop as far as like when this goes, we'll try to sync back up when we get the advertisements. We'll try and do better as far as linking those together. So let's just see how this goes. I'm sure it's going to be decent. Of course, here in the Women's Revolution, we can only give the divas or the women here in the Women's Revolution 10 minutes, but maybe that was all they needed. So let's see how this goes. So we are, of course, at 0-0-0, and I will count us down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oh, it paused on me. I'm sorry. We're gonna you know what? We're gonna reset that. I'm sorry. We are gonna reset that because that was some garbage. So we're gonna recount. I'm sorry. This is the first ever misfire, I think, in match of the week history. But we're gonna try this again. All right, everyone. So everyone back at 0-0-0 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Introducing first the challenger.
Here we go.
From Norwich, England, Paige.
Paige, the challenger. We're turning around the pose, in-ring introductions. Just don't do it for me.
She is the Divas champion, Charlotte.
God, that belt looks bad. Sorry, the butterfly belt truly signifies the way that women were viewed for much of the mid-2000s, mid to late 2000s. I would say pretty much once Lita and Trish retired. Although I will give it credit to Michelle McCool. Because she also did. Oh, and Charlotte now with the handshake. I assume Charlotte too here. Oh, yes, that's right. Because Rick is the man. I forgot Rick is Charlotte's manager. That's right. This is her house, is what she said, in case you didn't catch that. Paige is really pale. She's good. She's really good. She's really pale. It's very apparent here. She's as white as the canvas. Oh, vicious knees. Not to take anything away from Paige, because I think she's fine. Blowing the kiss to Rick, as if Rick would be offended by that. That was not a good hit of the rope, Charlotte. That was better. Oh, super kick. Flair bump, not as good. She kind of Charlotte doing that like that Mortal Kombat rotate and then Flair's bump. I don't think was it. I'm glad that I'm honestly glad she dropped that because I think it made her resemble Rick just a little too much. Doing the Woo's imitation. That's pretty typical. Now, Charlotte getting back in the ring. I guess you call that heat. I don't think Flair really got to Paige in time. Flair couldn't run as fast as Paige could. So I don't think he really held anyone. Oh, that's nice. The knee to the face. That's not very nice. What's wild is that Charlotte still looks. She didn't get the. She doesn't have the composure now that she would in 3 or 4 years' time when she had been on top for so long. And the queen persona of Charlotte, I think I think that was a really good depth from being Ric Flair's daughter to then being, of course, I am the best of the best, and no one holds a candle. Which honestly, at this point, it's hard to argue that point. Oh, here comes an ad. 3, 2. The ad's coming at 3:59. Keep that in mind.
Don't settle for whippy bags. Use hefty bags.
Well, at least it's the WWE ad, I guess. All right, 4 minutes. We are in 4 minutes. 5, 406, 407, 408, 409, 410. Okay, it should be sunk up by now. I feel like this match didn't have quite as good a start as it should, but it's gotten better since Charlotte's taken the heel bit off. But I kind of feel like they didn't really give Paige enough of a oomph of I can actually feasibly take Charlotte Flair. So then this heat would mean more. I don't think they did enough. And also, I don't know what came. Also, the interesting thing with modern wrestling is you really do have to take into account what came on before or after a match because the crowd could be just completely dead from seeing something else. And I did not research what was on this card to say one way or another. Rick's knee, very nice. Yeah, I'm glad she doesn't do the strut anymore either. I'm glad she doesn't. Well, not the way that she used to. Now the clamp. Man, I'm glad we do not have Michael Cole, JBL, and Jerry, the trio of them on commentary anymore. Although at this point, I'd probably take them over anything Corey Graves.
Charlotte may be fading. Yes, she is. Paige may win the Divas Championship right here.
You know, the fans are not really in this one. Love how JBL. I love how JBL will bring in old school references like Jackie Fargo, especially when he's talking to Jerry, because he actually could make some good Memphis references that Jerry would get. And now here's this team bad. What are they wearing? It's Tamina. Oh, they're making fun of. So there was Sasha Banks, I think Cameron and Tamina making fun of. They were wearing Becky Lynch's stuff, so making fun of whatever that team was. The Team Bad versus Team. I'm Charlotte Flair versus Team Paige's group. I don't remember the details, honestly, because it wasn't really that good. Thankfully, they kind of came into their own later, but the initial concept was not good. It was, let's just make women's factions. Rick tried to turn the ring buckle off. Referee caught him. Go for a punch. Paige trying to make a comeback, but I feel like the heat was lost because she had that big submission in the middle. So it doesn't really have the same oomph. She's screaming, but there's no real logistical pace to this match. Or a I don't know. I'm not really loving the story told because I think it's a little disjointed. Oh, and is this the whole Reed in the womb thing? Did that happen? Or was that Summer? That was SummerSlam. That was SummerSlam. That was not TLC. And now Paige with a figure 4 on the Charlotte. This is a good piece of story. Oh, here comes another ad. The ad is at 8:25. Do you like tanks? Apparently, we're supposed to like tanks. I hope you like tanks. This advertisement is about tanks. I'm not going to tell you what kind of tanks. I'm not going to tell you how the tanks behave. I'm just going to let you know the tanks are involved. All right, 8:26. Oh, another big thrust kick by Paige. Oh, the big boot by Charlotte. Looks better. What's she doing? The moonsault? Oh, she went for... Oh, that did not look good. She went for a big crossbody, but I don't think she landed that the way she wanted to. Oh, knife edge chop. Flair chop. Please don't win with... Did she win this with a natural selection? Nice counter, Fisherman Buster. That was a nice Fisherman suplex. Props to Shades of Mr. Perfect. Oh, God. Like a cradle DDT. But as a counter, that was something. Innovative. I dig it. Yeah, and then they replay the from K Jewelers to Skittles. That's where we're at. From K Jewelers to Hefty Bags. Now you can tell what kind of sponsors want to associate with WWE and which don't. Paige going for a roll-up. Boy, the crowd is just not into this matchup. Was that a spear? The hell was that? Did she just knee Charlotte Flair in the face? So I think Paige is now going for that submission of hers. And oh! What the hell was that, Rick? What the hell was that? Was terrible. He grabbed like 2 different legs. He put the leg under. It was so. Oh man, that was not the sleight of hand it was supposed to be. That was not the sleight of hand it was supposed to be. I mean, the referee was in the right position. That's not what I'm saying. It's just, I think Flair was a little sloppy on the execution there. Oh, now Charlotte took the turnbuckle pad off that Rick started. That was nice. Payoff. Knife edge drop. There she goes. Now, this would have been a great time if you really wanted to get the women over for Paige to get juice. But, of course, they would never do that. They don't let the guys get juice. They wouldn't let the women get juice. That's an obvious one. That's a real obvious one. Flair's already taking his jacket off. Flair. Oh, Rick. Oh, Ric Flair. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. That is funny. That is funny. Charlotte wins, and the first thing does is Rick gets in the ring, takes his jacket off, and starts hitting the ropes. Some things never change. Some things never change. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this was honestly, my overall thoughts on the match is it was kind of blah. The fans were really into it. It didn't really get off to a good start, so I don't think it really ever got the momentum it needed. I'm sure the fans were gassed after something prior to, because that's the way that they were booked at the time. It's the way women were booked at the time. They were the aftermatch. Even in the Revolution, they were still the aftermatch. It wasn't until much later, much later, that they actually started getting the same kind of recognition or value points that they gave the men. So, in any event, that was your match. That's your lot right there. So, thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned next week for TLC review. Speaking of TLC, that's apparently this weekend. So, begrudgingly, we're going to watch it because thanks to you, our loyal fans, the pay-per-view reviews are the highest rated and the most watched videos on our channels. So, obligatorily, we are going to watch TLC 2020, and Skylar and I will be bringing you all of the action, all of the review, the good, the bad, and the ugly, which it's sure to have all of. As much as I'm going to hate it because it's got the Thunderdome and the fake crowd chants and it's going to suck, and the ad and the feeling of the show is going to suck, and I might just watch it on mute. I may not even listen to the commentary because I've just had enough. I've just had enough of this, and I'm going to have to do something to make this more palatable for myself. And speaking of, because last week was dubbed Skylar's co-host application, I might as well reveal the results of his application here and now. And he doesn't know this is happening, and I hope he watches this video because I'm not going to tell him it happened. Skylar, in his taking over the show, I thought did a terrific job. I thought he came right in with the right amount of energy. It was a lot of fun kind of being the secondhand guy. It's as much as I like doing solo shows, and I will be doing solo shows going forward. You know, every so often I'll pop a solo show in here and there, but honestly, I think the show's just more fun with somebody else in it. So I am happy to announce that starting in January, on a weekly basis, unless something happens on my end or on his end or something of that matter, Skylar Greenberg will be the man of the hour, the man with the power, too sweet to be sour, the co-host of the hour, the co-host of the power, the co-host too sweet to be sour, the one and only Bay Area brawler, Skylar Greenberg, is now going to be the official co-host. So congratulations, Skylar. You will be receiving no financial benefits. You will be receiving no pay whatsoever, but it's great to have you on the show. But for all of you, the fans, if you like Skylar, feel free to join me in congratulating him on actually becoming a full-time member of the team here at the Court Martial Podcast. We're very excited to have him along, and we will be having other guests as well. You know, I still plan very much to have Simon Lee back on the show. I would very much like to have Josh again on the show for as wild a time as that usually is. And I have other guests down the line. I have other people I would love to have on the show, a couple people who I've even spoken to on the live streams that I've done. So we will see where we go with that. Of course, we're going to be playing ACPW versus NWL, the final episode, the final chapter this Friday. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be a great time. You see the epic conclusion, the final pay-per-view of the National Wrestling League, and the final pay-per-view or the actual major event of Atlantic Coast Pro Wrestling, all here on Friday night. As usual, the way you can find it, the way you can know about it before anyone else does or at the same time that everyone else does. But you got to do some things. You got to like this video. You got to like my channel. You got to like Court Martial Podcast. You got to subscribe to the Court Martial Podcast. And you got to hit that bell button with the stiffest back elbow or standing side kick you possibly can. Bret Hart, oh, God, I feel bad saying this joke, but Bret Hart should be concussed by the force that you standing side kick that bell button so you can get all of the notifications for when we post CMP material. It is always a great time. It's always great to have you with us. And until next time, thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you on Friday for ACPW versus NWL, and then a new match of the week every Tuesday, live stream every Tuesday, and we're going to have that great time as well. So we will see you on Tuesday. We will see you on Friday. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.